Dennis McNeil for Causeway Coast Community, and it's that time of the year when the Super Cup NI pretty much takes over at what's happening on a day-to-day basis in many of the football grounds in the area. Delighted to say, joined now by Chairman of the Super Cup NI, Victor Leonard. Victor, how long have you been involved with Super Cup NI?
Well, this is our 36th year, Dennis, and I've been 36 years in the job as chairman. Being a volunteer, can't get out of the job, so you can see probably why I'm still here.
And how much would you say it's changed over the last 36 years?
Well, there's been a lot of changes, Dennis. Professional clubs coming in now, national associations, but the ethos of the tournament has never changed. The friendly welcome people in this town and this whole area give to the teams, the tellers, everything professionally done at the grounds by all the ground staff. That hasn't changed over the years. But certainly with working with so many professional clubs now, it's a massive undertaking to get them just into position, obviously, for games and all the aspects of what they require, requirements obviously for the week. It is demanding, but again, the team of people we have on board do a fantastic job.
Victor, what exactly can we look forward to over the coming week or so?
Well, there'll be games, Dennis, with the 5 continents here, 5 teams representing 5 continents, and that's the 6 confederations of FIFA. So every art and part of the world will be represented. Last in the World Cup just finished in Russia, we had 27. We call them Milk Cup graduates, Super Cup now old boys, and they played in the World Cup this year for all teams like Mexico, Japan, Belgium, England, of course, and many others. And that's the quality of players that will be here again this year, Dennis. So if you want to see World Cup future players of the World Cup, this is the place to be in the North Coast.
And Victor, it did start off as Milk Cup. Many of us keep stumbling over that term. It's now Super Cup NI. I'm just wondering, irrespective of the name of the competition, what is the reason for the enduring success of this competition?
Well, it is the quality and the team of people we have. I mean, most people see this week as the tournament. It's a 12-month job working on the event, Dennis, and we have a tremendous crowd of people within the committee who work hard. We have people worldwide. That's a major aspect of what we've done. I think there's not a part of the world we can't lift a phone or send an email to ask questions about teams, and the people who we're talking to in all our parts of the world know the tournament, have been here, know the quality, and they can recommend teams when they come here. They'll get a top-class tournament. So I think that's how we've challenged teams to come here by making sure we have good people on board in the world.
I'm wondering too what kind of impact this has financially in the area. I mean, is it of great benefit to the whole Causeway Coast region?
It certainly is, Dennis. It runs into many millions of pounds. I don't like putting figures on because people can fabricate things on time at times, but it certainly runs into quite a few million pounds. I mean, over the years it must have gone into tens of millions of pounds over the 36 years, and I'm hoping that is good for the economy, both for the hoteliers and the shops and other people who feed off the tournament. It is a great advantage for the area.
And so if we benefit in this area financially, that sort of leads me around to saying to you, what about funding? How easy is it for you to get funding for Super Cup NI?
Well, funding's always difficult in any event nowadays. Thankfully, we've got a fantastic council up here in the Causeway Coast and Glens, and that's also supported by Mid and East Antrim Borough Councils. The council up here in Coleraine we're talking about, so Causeway Coast and Glens, do a fantastic job financially, looking over aspects of teams being here, helping just generally around the whole aspect of the tournament. We then have many commercial sponsors on board. That has changed a lot. In the past we had one major sponsor, obviously the Dairy Council. Now we have maybe up to 10, 12 secondary sponsors who do a great job as financing a tournament. So it's a lot of work getting finance on board, but fingers crossed things work out at the end of the day and we're able to pay the bills.
Yes, that's always important. Now, we're standing just outside Coleraine Football Club. We're in the showgrounds on Ballycastle Road, and I cannot but ask you, is there any possibility ever that the final will come back to this football ground? Dennis,
it's there for, I'm not sure how I put this one, but it's there for the powers to be to get our ground corrected, the sort of standard we need. I'm a Coleraine supporter, as you know. I come to games here and I enjoy coming, but for the event we have, we do need a lot of money put into this ground at Coleraine. And it's not for me to say who should be doing what, But the two chief executives, both in the old Ballymena Council and the old Coleraine Council, have a letter from our secretary, Jim Weir, supported by the committee, that when the ground is correct or in a ground in Coleraine area is right for the tournament, it comes back to Coleraine. So unfortunately nothing has been done terribly yet to entice us back, but hopefully it may come back in the future.
Just be clear on this one for me, Victor. When you say when the ground is correct, can you expand a wee bit more? What do you mean by that?
Well, we need changing facilities, Dennis, and we need facilities obviously for spectators. The whole aspect of, everything's got to be ship shape. With teams coming from all over the world, and if ever you go onto the website and look at these teams, look at their grounds, and really, we are so far behind here in this region of a good football ground. Good football team, obviously, good management team, good chairman here. And these people work their socks off to get this ground right, but it just needs investment, massive investment.
In political terms, if Stormont was up and running, I wonder, would it be possible to make a deputation or whatever to ask Stormont to consider funding this?
I mean, we've an event here, Dennis, as you say, it's been 36 years going, and it's sad to say that a lot of things haven't changed infrastructure-wise over those years. Again, the council's fantastic in the area, pitches are fantastic condition, their own changing rooms in the different grounds of the council area, but the actual stadia pitch itself, stadia ground, just needs a lot of money spent.
Well, the showgrounds up in Ballymena, I know, have traditionally now for the last number of years been where the finals played, and I was in conversation with Mid and East Antrim Council over the last day or two. They tell me there's an alternative pitch going to be made available this year.
Yeah, we actually viewed a few people from Coleraine up yesterday viewing it, Dennis, and I have to say we're rather trying to think, could we bring that back to Coleraine again, the whole structure. They've worked very hard at it, prepared a second pitch, second stadia, and I couldn't believe yesterday what I saw at Ballymena. As I say, a council-owned facility, which is a big benefit, and certainly a lot of money poured into doing things up in Ballymena Stadium, and it's just a pity that format couldn't work here in Coleraine.
Okay, just finally, I know you touched on it momentarily. The World Cup's just been played. We've just seen France as triumphant in the World Cup for 2018. How important, how big an influence on football in this area and on the youth tournament that is Super Cup NI, how big an influence is the World Cup on something like this?
Well, you might like to know that the 27, we call them graduates, players have played in the tournament over the years. We have 27 Super Cup graduates who played in the Super Cup and played in the World Cup. And that's from teams from Japan.
Year.
Oh yes, this year, World Cup 27. That's for Japan, for Mexico, for England, for Belgium. A lot of teams right across, but we have all that stats on our website. So to see the quality and standard, 27 World Cup players have played either Coleraine Showgrounds, Postley Anderson Park, Castle Rock, Portrush, Port Stewart.
But each of those 27 should have a photograph or a selfie taken maybe down Church Street in Coleraine, if not one of the grounds.
It'll be recorded somewhere, Dennis. It will indeed.
Victor, good to chat to you. Thanks very much indeed. Have a great 2018 Super Cup NI. Well, alongside me now is a man who knows his way around the goal mouth. In fact, if I think back, because I remember watching it, to 1982, particular goal that he popped in against Spain for Northern Ireland in the World Cup. He's now a pundit and a commentator for Sky Sports Football. Let me say good evening to Jerry Armstrong.
Good evening, Dennis. How are you?
I'm not too bad at all. Delighted to meet you. You're officially opening Super Cup NI this year. You looking forward to that?
I am, yeah. It's the 36th year of the Super Cup NI, previously called the Milk Cup, and I've always said, I was saying to Victor and Jim and the boys, I've loved coming to watch the young lads who are developing and playing against top class opposition. It's great that teams from all around the world, from South America, you've got Chivas from Mexico, you've got two teams from Chile, you've got teams from Africa, we've got teams from all over the world, and they're coming in, and our young lads can benefit from that, the 13, 14, 15 year olds playing against good opposition, and it's been a fabulous tournament. In my opinion, I think it's one of the best youth tournaments in the world.
So Jerry, you're no stranger to the North Coast. Indeed, I believe you were at the game yesterday between Celtic and Man United.
Very, very enjoyable. I sat beside Phil Neville and we watched Manchester United under 19s, who I thought first 30 minutes Celtic were the better side, played really good football, hit the crossbar, and Manchester United didn't look in it at that stage, and then they came back the last 15 minutes of the first half, played very well, forced a great save from the young Celtic goalkeeper, and it was a really exciting game, and then they hit the post. So second half, Manchester United took the lead, and then Celtic came back. Young boy to watch out for, Liam Henderson. He was excellent, scored one of the goals and made a goal, and I was really impressed with how they fought back in the last 20 minutes to win 3-1.
Now, something like 56 teams are here for Super Cup NI 2018. How important is that for football in general and perhaps for the North Coast or the Causeway Coast area?
Well, you don't know the benefits of it now, but in 5 or 10 years, when these young lads are developed and have gone through to play football over in England or maybe in Spain or anywhere, you know. And I talked to Philip Neville about it yesterday, and he remembers his days when he came as a young Manchester United player with Paul Scholes, with Nicky Butt, with all those young stars, the David Beckhams, and they went on to bigger and better things. It is a tournament that stands up, and you look through the last 3 decades of the number of quality players who have come through. Our players learn from the quality of the other teams.
Jerry, looking maybe at a bigger picture, Northern Ireland did fairly well or reasonably well or very well, depending on your point of view, in the Euros 2016.
Yes.
Just failed to go to this year's World Cup. Where exactly is Northern Ireland football at the moment? How does it rank? How does it stand?
I think we're on a crest of a wave because, you know, in the last 3-4 years, Michael O'Neill has got a team together that play as a team. They're fantastic. When it comes to set plays, we're a difficult team to play against. And I watched the set plays in the World Cup and how many teams, including England, who benefit from free kicks, quarter kicks and set plays. That is a big plus and hopefully continues on for Michael.
And just finally on the subject of the World Cup, VAR.
Yeah.
Was that a success or a disaster, or is it still somewhere to go?
No, it's a work in progress for me, but it was a success because there was a lot of pluses. My only problem was, you know, the first 2 goals against Croatia. Croatia played great football, and I think everybody's favourites. And then the free kick that resulted in the own goal from Mandzukic. That wasn't a free kick, that was a dive, and you know, you can't do, VAR is not going to show whether it was a free kick or not, unfortunately. And then the penalty went against him, I thought, and it could have went either way. I didn't think it was a deliberate handball, so that's the way it goes.
And how will the refereeing standards be, I wonder, this week?
I think the refereeing standards are going to be good. I've been impressed with the refereeing standards in the World Cup. You know, I think generally it's on the improvement all the time.
Now, when the teams walk down the Church Street here in Coleraine and make their way to the showgrounds, in front of each team we've got a local youngster. Joining me now is Tori Culbertson. How on earth did you get into this?
I volunteered last year to do it, so this is my 2nd year and I enjoy it so much.
Do you remember which team you were with last year?
County Armagh.
County Armagh.
Yeah.
And you're Northern Ireland again. We've got a County Londonderry. Is this County Londonderry,
It is.
the juniors and the seniors?
Just the seniors.
Okay. What fun do you get out of doing this, just walking in front of these dozen or so good looking fellas? What's the fun in that for you?
Well, I get to meet lots of different people from all different countries and just get to mix with them. It's just a bit of a variety.
I was
basically.
talking to your mum, Tori, just a few minutes ago. She said there was some reference to, is it Coleraine Ladies Hockey Club?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
All of us, including myself in the hockey club, volunteer at the gates, so we will help take the admissions and stuff, and then doing this here as well. There's a couple of the girls do it, so we all just like to get involved.
Listen, enjoy your evening and
Thank you very
keep your
much.
eyes off the boys. Now, the Deputy Mayor of the Borough is involved this evening. Trevor Clark, thanks for joining us. What exactly is your role tonight at the Super Cup NI opening parade?
Dennis, I'm helping to welcome our guests along tonight, welcome all the teams, the participants, and help with the launch of this week of football.
To be honest, it's really quite hard to believe that I think it's 56 teams from all over the world have landed here in the Causeway Coast.
Phenomenal. It's our own localised World Cup almost, isn't it? From as far afield as America, Japan, and all the local teams as well. So a magnificent festival of football ahead of us this week.
Trevor, Victor Leonard was mentioning to us just the other day that just about every room in this area has been filled. Do we still have reason to be building or thinking about building hotels?
Well, it would suggest there's plenty of demand around, Dennis, and certainly the North Coast has been really busy since the beginning of June. So I think most hotels are running at full occupancy or very close to it, so there's certainly good demand at present.
Okay, and in terms of football itself, is there a particular team that you maybe follow?
No, I'm strictly neutral. That comes with the territory of Deputy Mayor.
Joining me now is Taylor. Taylor, tell me a bit about yourself.
I'm 11 years old and I've just finished primary school
Which school is that?
at the Cosquin.
So you've just finished, means you're going to go to the big school? Which one's that?
Coast.
And how much are you looking forward to that?
A lot. I'm really looking forward to it.
I'm sure you are. What's your job here with these Canadian footballers tonight?
I'm leading them through the parades.
Do you know any of them yet?
I know Jackson.
Jackson, which one's Jackson? Jackson, are you Jackson? Whoops, are you Jackson? Have you met this young lady? Yeah, I have. Tell me how good she's been with you guys. Now we've just gone up with the Coleraine FC Academy team, number 34. This is Raquel. Buenos dias. How are you? Good girl. So I'm going to have a word now with Ryan McNichol. Ryan, tell us a wee bit about your team.
Korean, 05. Hoping to win it.
I was going to say, how far are you going to go in the competition?
Win it.
Who's the best player here, apart from yourself, of course?
Kyle.
Kyle's the best player. What sort of preparation have you guys been doing over the last few weeks?
Just training. Possession.
And have you had any little friendly matches with any other teams?
I've had 3 friendly matches. 1-1, couple of nine.
Hi, this is Paul Summers, coach with Cherry Orchard. Paul, it's not the first time Cherry Orchard have taken part in what was the Milton Cup, what's now Super Cup NI.
Yeah, indeed, it's not the first time we've been here. We were here since its conception and inception, going up to now. We won it in 1993 in a very narrow final. And the group we have this year, probably we're inexperienced, but then again, a bold team to just go and have an attack at it and have a go at it. But we'd be quietly confident in it as well.
Quietly confident.
Quietly confident, we're going to get there slowly but surely. We're going to have 6 weeks preparations. We don't have high expectations, but then again, we're going to try and do the best we can.
This is the Italian team alongside me here with the girl who's going to be leading them down through the town. This is Kerry Clark. You've got a good reception from the boys. Yeah. It's the second year you've been doing this.
Yeah.
How did last year go?
I feel like it was so quality.
Which team?
Mexico.
Mexico. What about the Italians? Any good-looking boys here?
Yeah.
How many?
Thank you, good boy.
Okay, boys, good luck in the competition.